All right, Eric, thank you for joining us tonight. We just crossed midnight here in Minnesota. We've got John Morthaler on. John, we'll let you get things going.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on the game tonight, Coach?
Yeah, it was really messy. It was a very difficult set of circumstances for lots of reasons, all of which are fairly obvious. I think we went into the game uh, well short, obviously, of what is our full contingent. And I'd stress prior to the game to the players, it is really important that we come here with a no excuse mentality. So we certainly weren't leaning into that at all. But I think then when you add to that the injury to Devon within the first play of the game, and then the situation with Boxley, I think it makes it a real uphill battle. So we find ourselves at the moment in a really difficult situation, a situation that we knew would leave us wanting in certain situations, as has been the case tonight. But I think the big thing for us now is that we're very positive, very constructive. We recognise the situation we're in, what we've got, and we try and meet each challenge that comes our way head on, as we always do.
Do you have updates on Devin Padelford or Michael Boxall?
Yeah, Dev's definitely a case of concussion. How severe, I think will only become clear tomorrow. He's okay, but certainly a little bit dazed. And then Boxley turned his ankle, and again probably wouldn't grasp the severity of that properly until tomorrow. So we certainly didn't want to put him at any risk of really worsening that at half time. So I think the sensible thing for all involved at that point was for him to come off. And yeah, that's in addition to the guys that we've got back home.
You said that your message to the team before the game was no excuses. What was your message to the team after the game?
Yeah, it was the only way to deal with these situations is to be positive and constructive and prepare to meet the next challenge in the best way that we possibly can. And I think these are difficult situations because I think players sometimes don't quite know how to think. And of course, everyone's immediate reaction is to be very downbeat and disappointed. But for us, it's about really recognizing the circumstances we're in, really pulling together, really making sure that we don't start to loosen as a very cohesive together unit, which has been the case all year. And I think everyone knows this is going to be a very difficult couple of weeks given the circumstances we're in. So I will certainly be positive and constructive, and the staff will certainly follow that message. And as a byproduct of that, I really hope that the players take that on board, because that's the only way you deal with these circumstances for me.
Right now, what are the positives that you can take out of a game like that?
I think we were competitive till the end, which isn't always the case in situations like that. Obviously, we're very young coming off the bench, and you've certainly been a part of games and seen situations like that where a team falls apart completely, and we didn't do that. I think there's definitely an element of credit that goes to the players in that sense, that they stuck at it, and they certainly made it difficult for the opposition to continually attack and progress. But I think we will have to recognise the extent to which we can really go and make a mark on a game like that. And that was obviously there was obviously a relatively low ceiling for us, I would say, in that sense. But the players certainly stuck at it, and again, we've got a good spread of minutes across a load of players, being all that involved in what we've done so far this year. So that in itself is a positive step.
Now that you've been through the experience of playing in Seattle, do you come at that and say, boy, I can see why they've lost 8 in a row here?
I can. I mean, I think you take each individual game on its merit, as opposed to trying to look at that big difficult picture, because we're such a different side today. Number one, to the side that Minnesota have been coming here previous years, but also to what we've been over the course of this year. So I'm not going to dwell on this one too much. Again, I will take as an objective a look at it as possible, and I think if you do that, then it tells you that you're in a difficult situation. You really need to grind. You really need to battle. You really need to, in my position as a head coach, try and keep everyone together and pull in the right direction. And I'll do everything I can to make sure that's the case.
Right now, do you think you'll have enough players to field the team on Wednesday?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. We've obviously got a couple of guys back home. Will Trapp, who I'm not actually sure on the status of the birth of his third child yet, but we're hopeful that if all goes smoothly there, that he's available for Wednesday's game, and then Joe Rosales comes back, and DJ Taylor is hopefully going to be somewhere close. So we'll definitely be able to put out a team. We'll definitely be competitive, and we'll definitely approach it in as constructive a way as we can.
Is the pragmatism just trying to communicate to people that you still have to play the game on Wednesday, or how do you communicate that to the players, and how do you communicate that what you've always said is a pragmatic message?
Yeah, we will regroup on Monday morning, and we'll see what we've got. We'll see who's in what state, and we'll have a good look at the opposition. We'll review our game against them from last week, and we'll put together what we feel is the best course of action to go and tackle that game. And that's all we can do in this situation. And in some senses, I really relish the challenge of being a coach in difficult circumstances. I think it's really trying. It tests you to your limits, and I'm trying to make sure that the players look at it in that way as well, because as I say, I don't see any alternative to looking at these things pragmatically, positively, and trying to be really constructive in how you deal with what you've got. And once we get past the disappointment of this, because everyone is disappointed when you lose a game, irrespective of the circumstances, then we will pull together and we'll do our very best come Wednesday.
Time for one more, John?
Nope, that's all I got.
All right.
Brilliant. Thanks, John.
Thanks,
Thank
Coach.
you.
Sleep well. See ya.